it doesn't have, it's not like you would put it on rice. Like it doesn't have great flavor by itself. It's something I would use in other things to cook with, but it works great. Gives it really nice, and it does add kind of a meaty flavor. And then the other thing, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is nutritional yeast. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but this is such a great product for vegans because it is loaded not only with protein, there's in 2 tablespoons, there's I think 8 grams of protein, which is just huge. And then there's also a lot of B vitamins in it. So that's another thing that, like B12 is a vitamin you typically can only get from meat sources, but this is loaded with B12. So that's a great thing to use too. And the water is almost boiling. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the oats in. So the first thing we do, oh, you know what? Actually, we just add the other stuff first. So these are all the seasoning, and then mix them all together, just for ease for tonight. But it's got the garlic powder and the onion powder, the Italian seasoning, cayenne pepper, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Mix that in there. And then a tablespoon of maple syrup. This is the Bragg's liquid aminos. It looks just like soy sauce. And the nutritional yeast. You stir it up, and once it boils, then all we have to do is add the oats, and then it just sits for 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let it get sitting. We're just going to cook it a little bit while it's sitting. Now, if you make oats, you know that it's typically 2 cups of water to 1 cup of oats. So this is an equal ratio, which means that it ends up really, really thick, which is the base for the sausage. And after it's done cooking, then I add the ground walnuts. I did a full cup because they're just so good in there. So that's typically what I do, but if you're concerned at all about having too many nuts or anything like that, then you can use less. But I would probably not use less than a half a cup because they're just really good in there.
Marie, do you use the quick oats for the bread too, or do you use a different kind of old-fashioned?
I just do the old-fashioned oats, and I just pour them in the blender.
But for this, you use the quick oats?
Well, actually, I do the old-fashioned oats for this too, and I just do a couple pulses in the food processor because that makes it, essentially that's what quick oats are, it's just a little more processed old-fashioned oats.
Marie, can you substitute, if you're sensitive to nuts, something, walnuts, seeds?
Sure. Yeah, the walnuts really, they add a little bit of course they add a little bit of flavor, but it's more for that texture. If you guys know, sausage has that kind of, there's the chewy and then there's the kind of crunchy chewy part of sausage, which we need to talk about what that is exactly, but that adds that nice texture. But I think a sunflower seed would probably work well for that. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, this is getting nice and thick. And then all we do, add the walnuts. This isn't quite to the texture I would have it, but I'm going to let those guys take care of it back there. I'm going to try without the mic again. So I stirred in the walnuts. This is what, it's just a nice thick oatmeal. And then all you do, I'm going to let these guys do this, but